Okay, let me know if you can't see this this screen now. All right. So, as I said, there was a minor mistake on the web page on the schedule because it was claimed there that we would have active perfects today, but we won't have them until the new tense. The perfect tense, we won't begin with that until next time. So today we have only a shorter lecture with some more subordinate clauses which we haven't, of a type which we haven't looked at before. So it's going to be a very short lecture this time around, but that can be good for a change, I think, because there's quite a lot of content on this lecture anyway, or on the whole course. Okay, well, welcome to the 19th lecture of my Classical Greek Introductory course. And today we have a very short lecture on our schedule. Actually, we only have one topic on our agenda today, namely temporal subordinate clauses, which are introduced with the conjunction prin, meaning before. Otherwise, there won't be any new grammatical features in the following chapter of our textbook. However, it's still important that you work on how to recognize the passive aorists and passive future forms, which we were introduced to in the preceding lecture, since these will feature prominently in the following chapter of our textbook as well. Okay, but we can begin with a short general overview of temporal clauses. Temporal conjunctions are the conjunctions which are used to introduce a temporal subordinate clause. Examples of conjunctions that can be used in the meaning of when are epei, epeide, hote, and hos. And when the latter is combined with the superlative tahista, we get hos tahista, which means as soon as. And ho, again, which actually formally is a preposition in connection with the relative pronoun, can be used as a temporal conjunction in the meaning of during. And then we have prin, which can mean either before or not until. In these temporal subordinate clauses, then the verb forms used are usually in the indicative mood. That is when the depicted action or happening forms a singular event. The subjunctive, again, is used in temporal clauses together with the modal particle on when the action or happening referred to lies in the future, or if the action is repeated. And remember as well that in these temporal clauses, the modal particle on can sometimes merge with the temporal conjunction. For instance, hote and on can merge into hotan. However, when a temporal clause is introduced with the conjunction prin, the verb form in the subordinate clause can also be an infinitive. Actually, the verb is normally an infinitive, and the subject of the clause an accusative when the main clause, which the subordinate clause connects to, is affirmative. That is, when the main clause is not negative, or when it's positively when it positively states something, like in the example we see here on the screen. Epito akron anabaine heirisophos printina aistestai ton polemion, which could be translated as heirisophos ascends to the top before any of the enemies notices. So here, as we can see, the present medial infinitive aistestai functions as the predicate of the clause, while the indefinite pronoun tina in the accusative singular functions as the subject. And likewise, temporal clauses introduced with prin are in general constructed with an accusative and infinitive combination when the main clause is affirmative. However, in cases when the main clause is negated, the predicate of the subordinate clause is usually a finite aorist form instead. And the example we have here of this comes from Plato's Republic. U proteron kakon pausontai hypoles prin an en autais hoi philosophoi arxosi, which could be translated or which translates literally as not before will the cities cease from wrongs until the philosophers rule in them. But a grammatically less awkward translation could be the cities will cease their wrongdoings only when the philosophers assume power in them. So here we have a temporal clause introduced with the conjunction prin as well. But since the preceding main clause is negative, the predicate in the subordinate clause is a finite aorist form. More specifically, it's a third person plural active aorist subjunctive form of the verb archo, to rule. And as you can see, the aorist subjunctive is here combined with the modal particle on, in accordance with the general rule for future referring temporal clauses, which normally have a predicate in the subjunctive mood together with on. Okay, but that was all the new grammar we had for today. So the active perfect and active pluperfect will have to wait until next time. Okay, did you hear anything?
Yeah. Yes, was all fine.
Oh, good. Did you have time to look at the chapter then?
Yes, although I must admit I found it very, very tricky.
That's tricky. Okay. Well, let's look at it together if we can get something out of it. So this, no, you probably not see it. I have to share again. All right. Here we go. Here, okay. If we start with the first one here.
Okay, so all the soldiers fell asleep, and then everyone, and then aphthonois, I couldn't work out what that, the only thing I could get was without envy.
Yeah, aphthonosis can be without envy.
Yeah.
I seem to have missed it on the
Yes.
in the vocabulary as well, but it's also, it can also be like in great heaps or in great quantities. I think that's what they're after here. So it's like in their full manpower, or in their but I would have to think of some better translation there. But that's what I think it's they're after here.
Okay.
So, but let me think of something better
Okay.
for tomorrow, and I can send it to you.
So they all fell asleep,
Yeah,
and then the Greeks, the Hellenes, chose Dracontus the Spartan to take the race.
yeah, exactly. So this is like a lot of, again, of sentences which with no connection with each other.
Okay. I thought it was trying to tell a story, and I just could not work out what they were talking
That's
about.
the whole thing, that it's back to this, where you have a one sentence is something completely different from the first one.
Okay, now that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Then the next one, paratheti. So,
What mood do we have here? First of all, in this, it's an aorist passive, right? But what mood is it?
a passive.
Yes, it's passive. That's the voice.
Yeah,
But
a voice.
the mood, is it indicative or what is it? Is it subjunctive or?
Imperative, is it?
It's an imperative, exactly.
Yes.
Second person singular.
Yeah.
So peraama is I try.
So you try
Yeah, exactly.
to go to me, or to come to me.
Yeah, that's it. Try to come to me.
Okay.
And then we have this is again something which could be from Xenophon's Anabasis, but just one sentence again.
So that's a plural aorist passive.
Yeah.
First person plural.
Yeah.
So we missed, or we lacked, or we.
Yeah, Deomai could be all of these. It could also be ask, actually. Deomai with an genitive here. So
Okay.
ask someone for something.
Okay, so we asked them to bury.
Deomai plus genitive. I asked someone. Yeah.
Okay, so we asked them. Auton, or
yeah, we asked them
to bury the dead.
Exactly. Yeah. So apparently they asked an enemy troops if they asked for permission to gather their dead son.
Okay.
And bury them. Okay, then.
Delon Estin. So it is clear that way to Seminoi, cheaters or liars. So it is clear that cheaters or cheating people must not be trusted.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Right. And what kind of verb form do we have here?
The Sioux Samonoi is a participle. It's an aorist participle, and the Pasteutheston is a future infinitive
It's not infinitive actually.
Oh, okay.
It's third person plural.
Third person plural. That's right. It's a future passive third person plural.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. And this is an aorist participle, as we said. But it's middle voice, right?
Yes.
Because it doesn't have the passive aorist root at all, which you would have if it would be a passive aorist. So in the aorist, the middle and in the aorist passive, the middle and in the aorist, the middle and the passive are distinguished from each other, unlike in the present. And the same applies to the future, of course.
Mm.
Okay. Yes.
So the second one. So Cyrus. Now it looks like a straight aorist passive. I must admit I have difficulty differentiating the futures, but it looks like a. So Cyrus was sent down into Lydia.
Exactly. Yes. So you see that it's an aorist passive from the fact that it has the aorist passive root here with the the infix there, and then it also has an augment here. So katapempo is the basic form of this verb, but when it's augmented, that means that it's an indicative aorist form, right? Passive indicative aorist form. Third person singular in this case. So yeah, exactly correctly. Cyrus was sent to Lydia.
Then the next one, so those who were drawn up in battle.
Yeah.
Is it's an imperfect, is it?
Yeah, it's an imperfect from oichomai, which
yeah.
means to go.
Yeah. So those who were drawn up in battle went.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing more than that.
Yeah.
So this, how would you analyze this? Tachtentes.
It's an aorist participle.
Yeah, and the voice.
Passive.
Yeah, so an aorist passive participle, exactly.
Yeah. Those who were drawn up in battle. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. And this then?
The next one is many. Panta, everything will be uncovered.
Yeah, exactly. So this is panta is a nominative plural form, right? No, not nominative, but neuter plural form.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's why we have an verb form in the singular. So this is again this basic rule of.
That's right. Yeah.
When the subject is in the plural, neuter plural, then usually the predicate is in the singular, even though the subject is plural when it's neutral. When passive, just like you said. Okay. What do we have here then?
Oh.
Have you reached this far?
No, I just got down to the panta, this last one. So phulaxis is.
You can try anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Is just trying to work out the verbs.
Philaxaste comes from philattomai, which is philattomai means I am on my guard, or I take care, or something like this. Let's see if
I'm trying to remember what the ethse is. It's which. My mind has gone about which how many, which number. Is it we?
It's actually second person plural.
You.
Imperative, yeah, form. So Philoxastav, you many be on your guard.
Yeah, must be on guard.
Yeah.
Opos me lepthete.
This is from Lambano. Lambano means I catch or I capture.
Oh yes, so lest. So you must be on guard lest you are caught.
Yeah.
Or not to be caught. Yeah. Opos me.
Yeah. Be on your guard so that you are not caught.
Captured, yeah.
Or captured. So this is an aorist, passive aorist subjunctive form actually. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we could try this number 2 all the way to the end. How about that?
The murderer.
No, but if you take this second paragraph.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Okay.
We could try with that, like this.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, this is a bit tricky actually. But
yeah,
here, if we start with this predicate here, this lefteelsameta, how would you understand that one?
Well, it looks like a future passive again.
Exactly. Yeah.
Of Lambano.
Lambano, yeah. Of Lambano, exactly.
Yeah.
So the basic form is Lambano. I capture, I catch.
Yeah. So. Oh gosh.
Maybe we will be caught.
Yeah, because it's a first person plural, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. That's the ending here.
So
plural ending.
Yeah. We will be caught. Trying my vocab's letting me down.
Yeah, this is a bit tricky. So hetos is a comparative form of meaning weaker,
okay,
worse, weaker in this case, I think. So weaker than the enemies, hetos tampolemion. And po is just like at some point or some time or something like this. Then we have here.
Okay, so if we are weaker than
the
enemy at some time, we will be captured.
Yeah, it could be something like this. But I mean, it's again, this is one of these, syntax could be better here. I'm not sure how to figure it out. I would say something like it's, if we are caught weaker than the enemies. If we are caught weaker than the enemies, and then it continues.
It is clear.
Yeah.
So
if we start with the predicate again here, this esametha, what does it mean?
It's first person plural. We will be, is it?
Yeah, exactly. We will be.
Yeah.
Hora is land or yeah, land.
So we'll be, so if it is clear,
Andropus is a slave, commune slave.
Okay. But then we will be in the land of the slaves.
Yeah, that's the meaning, but it's a bit unclear what it actually refers to. But it's like if we are caught weaker than the enemies, then it's clear that we will be in the land of slaves.
Yeah.
Don't ask me what that means.
Yeah.
Okay, but this last one should be easier.
Collapsomai.
Do you know what collapsomai is? Colapso is I punish.
Okay. So everything
or everyone.
Everyone will be punished.
Yeah, or everyone actually was punished.
I was punished, yeah.
Yeah, because it's an passive aorist indicative.
Okay.
Everyone was punished. That's it. Cool. I think the last part we can leave and you can look at it with the help of my translation if you like.
No. Okay, yeah, because I said what got me was I didn't think that they were unrelated. I just couldn't work on how on earth these sentences related to each other. So
that sometimes happens. That's and it's easier if you there should be more of these stories. On the other hand, it's very good practice to try to figure out these unrelated sentences, especially when it's like a new tense that you are or new tenses, new verb forms that you try to bang into your head, so to speak, because then you really have to think about each individual verb form and try to analyze it. And it's good for then when you transfer to like real texts, because it will help you then. It will always be a bit easier when you have of course, when you have a story to follow, because then it's easier to figure out. But yeah, good work again.
Okay. Thank you.
Continue in the same way.
Yep. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.